Good afternoon, Miss. Good afternoon, everyone. We are pleased to present our presentation on our critical review of the article Accountability or Surveillance, Why Teachers Biometrics in Guyana Might Not Be a Good Idea, written by Michele Marias. This here is our cover page. And this one here, these are the members of our group.
And the introduction, it says here, on the ICT Pulse website on 13th of February 2026, Michelle Marias explores the proposal of the Ministry of Education to implement biometric attendance in Guyana schools in an article titled Accountability or Surveillance. Why teacher biometrics in Guyana might not be a good idea. The article is intended to educate the reader on the possible advantages and disadvantages of attendance, monitoring through biometric technology to track teachers' attendance and inspire discussion on accountability, privacy, and educational effectiveness. The target audience is education stakeholders such as teachers, education policy makers, parents, and the general public interested in education and technology matters. In conclusion, the article has overall a balanced and convincing argument, and I agree with the author that while the use of biometric system may positively benefit attendance, monitoring privacy, cost, teacher morale, and the availability of less intrusive options are questions that need to be explored.
Summary of the article main points. Biometric attendance for a Guyana school to keep track of teachers' timing is discussed. The writer explains how biometric system can help in improving accountability and attendance record. However, issues of privacy, security concern, technical issue, and teacher morale are also raised. The article proposed possible solutions like QR codes, RFID cards, and GPS apps that might be less invasive and less expensive. Strengths with benefits. Balanced discussion. Writer discuss pros and cons of biometrics. Biometrics, for example, biometrics, for example, explain how biometrics help in improving accountability. Example, deny the opportunity of body punching and give accurate attendance data, but it also creates possible in relation to privacy and surveillance. Use of evidence. There are statements from the Ministry of Education that the system is supposed to provide transparency and occurrence information. The article also mentioned President Irfan Ali pledged to allocate 6% of GPDF of 20% of the national budget of the education. Practical alternative. The article offers four practical alternatives: digital sign-in, RFID, NFC cards, QR code system, and GPS-based geofence mobile apps. Focus on important issues. The writer raised concern on data protection, highlight that a Data Protection Act 2023 was not yet in effect in Guyana as a time of writing, and discussed the risk of the breach of data.
Balanced discussion. The article presents both the advantages and disadvantages of biometric attendance systems rather than supporting only one side. That's why the Ministry of Education wants to introduce the system while also highlighting concerns from teachers. Use of evidence and examples. The author refers to statements from the Ministry of Education and information from news sources and examples of alternative technologies such as QR codes and GPS-based systems strengthen the system. Consideration of multiple perspectives. The article examines the issues from educational, technological, financial, and privacy viewpoints, considers the concerns of teachers, government officials, and taxpayers. Focus on privacy and data protection. The article raises important concerns about the collection of storage of sensitive biometric data. It highlights the fact that biometric information cannot be changed if compromised. Discussion of cost implications. The author evaluates the financial burden of implementing biometric system and compares them with cheaper alternatives. This helps reader understand the practical implications of the policy. Logical organization. The article is divided into clear sections with heading, making it easy to follow and understand what it is about.
Limited statistical evidence. The article was about teacher absenteeism and accountability. However, there were no statistics present that indicates the level of absentees in Guyana school. No case studies. The writer argues that biometric is an inappropriate option but does not provide any case studies of other countries that have implemented biometric attendance system with success or failure. No direct teacher perspectives. The article claims that the use of biometric monitoring would have a negative impact on teacher morale and make teacher feel disturbed. But there are no interview or quotes from teachers. A limited cost comparison. The article discussed the cost of biometric system, RFIDs cards, and mobile application, but doesn't include actual figures or a detailed cost comparison of these options.
Possible bias against biometrics. Although balanced in some areas, the article appears to lean towards opposing biometric system by emphasizing risk and limitations more heavily than benefits. Limited statistical evidence. The article does not provide data showing the actual rate of teachers' absenteeism in Guyana. Without such evidence, it is difficult to determine whether biometrics are truly necessary. Lack of international comparisons. The author does not include examples of countries where biometric attendance systems have been successfully implemented in schools. Such comparisons could strengthen the analysis. Assumptions about teacher morale. The article suggests that biometric may lower teacher morale, but it does not provide research evidence or survey data to support this claim. Alternative solutions may also have challenges. The article recommends alternatives such as codes and GPS apps, but these systems can also be hacked or manipulated. Their limitations are not explored thoroughly as those of biometric.
Improvements and recommendations. Carrying out a comprehensive consultation with stakeholders. Before the implementation of the biometric system, the Ministry of Education should consult the teachers' union, school leaders, and parents to gather feedback and address concerns. Pilot the system before nationwide implementation. A pilot program should be done in selected schools which the ministry would evaluate effectiveness, identify challenges, and make necessary adjustments before implementing it in all schools. Ensure better data protection procedures. In the biometric system, if the biometric system is implemented, clear policies must be established regarding data collection, storage, access, and deletion. Strong cybersecurity measures should also be adopted. Take a closer look at broader educational challenges. The ministry should take a closer look at the not only to the attendance, but also on improving teachers' training, professional development, classroom resources, and teachers' welfare. Consider cost-effective alternative. The government should compare the cost and benefits of the biometric system with alternatives such as the FRID cards, QR code, or digital signing in applications before making a final decision. Collecting and publishing evidence. Research should be conducted to determine whether teachers' absenteeism significantly affect students' outcomes and whether biometric monitoring effectively addresses this problem. Improve teachers' motivation. Policies aim to increase teachers' satisfaction, recognition, and compensation may be more effective in improving attendance and performance rather than a surveillance-based approach.
In conclusion, Michelle Marios' article is a well-balanced and informative portrayal of the Ministry of Education's proposal for implementing biometric attendance system in Guyana. The article highlights the benefits of using biometric systems, including increased accountability and accurate attendance record, as well as the drawbacks, including privacy issues, data security risks, costs, and the impact on teacher morale. The review demonstrates that the article presents the pros and cons of biometric monitoring correctly. The article has some drawbacks, including a small sample of evidence, no teacher quotes, and no international case studies, but its strengths to do distract from its weaknesses. In general, I was impressed by the article's organization. It's thought-provoking and relevant insight to today's education environment. I feel the writer has met her aim in informing readers of the implication of monitoring via biometric and that this should be discussed in a critical manner as to whether it is the best way to promote accountability in schools. The article leaves reader with knowledge of the issue and they should be careful in considering alternatives before implementing.
Here's our reference. That has brought us to the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.